Story 1. Baby Shower Drama. Backstory. My baby shower was this past Saturday, and it was beautiful. We had friends and family flying in from all over to support us, and it was an amazing day. My mom and I worked really hard to plan a co-ed tea party baby shower, and I booked the venue in December. We both put a lot of time, energy, and money into making it special. My MIL, on the other hand, has a lot of traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder. She has a tendency to make everything about herself and struggles with planning anything. She's just not great at it and prefers to go with the flow. I, however, like things planned out and don't like surprises, so planning the baby shower without her involvement was definitely easier for me. In January, I reached out to my ML to ask if there was anyone she wanted to invite to the shower. She gave me no names, so I invited a few of her friends that I know. I also asked her if she wanted to help plan any games or food, but got no response. Then, in February, she suggested throwing a cocktail party at my house on the same afternoon as the baby shower, to keep it low-key. I politely declined and explained that the shower would take up the whole day and I'd be tired afterward. I also told her I rented a venue for the exact reason that I didn't want the stress of cleaning my house before and after a party. I suggested a more relaxed dinner at a pub after the shower, but she didn't respond to that. Instead, she sent me an article about how outdated baby showers are. The day before the shower, she calls my husband because she hasn't booked a hotel in our city and can't find one. He helps her book a room. On the day of the shower, she arrives clearly upset, barely speaking to me or my mom. Despite this, we're busy getting everything ready. She shows up late and immediately starts sighing and complaining. I made the decision not to open gifts at the venue, as most people had sent them to the house. I hadn't been to a baby shower in years where gifts were opened at the event, so I thought it would be fine. ML knew about this decision beforehand but decided to loudly announce, "Open the gifts," in the middle of the shower, making me feel uncomfortable. She left early, leaving her youngest child behind, so my husband and I took him home after we cleaned up. Then, the next day, ML sent an email to my husband, CCNG me, that was absolutely infuriating. Here's what she wrote. ML's email. I have to tell you, and yes, I have slept on this. You missed a unique opportunity this weekend to bring your families and friends together more deeply in the name of your future child. And I am writing this in the hope that you will actually get involved in the future so you can avoid that. In the future, are you going to leave the organization of your family events up to OP's mom, someone from just one side of the family who doesn't actually understand your friends and community, or how the non-fundamentalist Christian world actually works? Or are you going to involve the rest of your family? Because you don't get a second chance to have your first baby shower. This was it. There will be other, less important, events in the future, but this baby should know and appreciate that it has two sides to its family. Only you can stick up for yours. Clearly nobody else is going to. You were raised by someone who literally excels in bringing family and friends together to celebrate your special times and give her children a chance to be surrounded by joy, love, and support, and it has brought me great joy to do so. I've even helped host baby showers that were joyful and hilarious for people in my lab that you were at when you were small. And yet, once again, like the wedding, you put the run of the show in the hands of someone from a different world who has spent their lives organizing low-key, Bible-focused, teetotaling events for fundamentalist Christians, who doesn't understand how the rest of the world celebrates. Like the bizarre idea of having a wedding with no music, I appreciate that OP's parents are genuinely nice people, but seem clueless about the rest of the world, where a shower is called a shower. Because you all come together to shower a baby and its parents with gifts and share in the new parents' joy as they open the many different and loving gifts that people put time and effort into for their new baby. In doing so, it builds togetherness. Our gifts come together to help create the new world the baby will enter, and we get to share in creating it. Sharing what people gave and seeing your delight in them is the actual highlight of a shower and a real impetus for people to attend. If OP hasn't experienced that, perhaps it is because she also goes to girly showers for out-of-touch fundamentalist Christians, and that is what they do. I don't know. I just know it isn't what the rest of the world does. Even Estelle couldn't believe you didn't open gifts and thought it was strange. So, it isn't a generational thing. You could have involved Estelle in helping organize, even from a distance, but instead, I was excluded from the chance to contribute or host anything. You were raised in a home where bringing family and friends together in love and support was part of what made your family the heart of a community, and I'm actually really good at it. I was excluded from your wedding plans until the last minute, and now excluded from helping to host or contribute to this celebration of my first grandchild. I've looked forward to helping host and contribute to organizing events for my grown kids, but was excluded from your baby shower. You missed a chance to bring people together and let your baby know that it is love from both sides of the family. If you ever plan another event, please let me know if I'm going to be excluded again. My reaction. This email was beyond frustrating. I could go point by point and correct her, like how I invited my husband's high school friends and extended family right away, but honestly, there's no point. I ended up sending her a gray rock response, and my husband called her to tell her that her behavior was inappropriate and that she needs to apologize if she wants to visit again. Honestly, though, this feels like a relationship ender for me. I don't want her around me or my baby. I don't trust her, and I'm just so angry about how everything went down. Comment 1. Dear Emil, it is deeply regrettable that a celebration that was not about you was not to your liking, and especially tragic that you weren't able to share in the love and happiness of the occasion for one of alcohol and wrapping paper. And that you had to pay a premium for a hotel room you booked the night before an event you've known about for months is just a shame. Rest assured, I'll do everything in my power to ensure you never again have to suffer such indignities. DL. Comment 2. My main takeaway here is this loser woman is an alcoholic. Comment 3. What I am getting from this is Emil is an alcoholic and is pissed she couldn't get sloshed for free at your shower. I thought drinking at baby showers was frowned upon since the guest of honor can't drink. Comment 4. I would seriously have just been like, LOL, I'm not reading all that. Get a journal. But since ML never replied to you, just do the same. Leave that shit on read. Who has the energy for this? Like get a hobby. Story 2. How do I approach my ML FaceTiming with her son whenever we are gathered around a meal in person? My ML refuses to acknowledge that she ever does anything wrong, which makes it incredibly difficult to address hurtful things she does. The minute we try to talk about it, she gets defensive and then gives us the cold shoulder, often over everything. Aside from the other small issues, one particularly rude habit she has is FaceTiming with her son, my husband's brother, while we're all sitting together at the table during visits. They have this totally exclusive conversation where the rest of us, my husband, my F-file, me, and sometimes my parents, are just left sitting in silence for 15 to 30 minutes while they chat. It's so awkward, and honestly, I just end up excusing myself. Of course, she takes offense to that and gets all upset. Last night, it was really late, and I was sacrificing sleep just to sit there while they FaceTimed for about 20 to 30 minutes. Finally, I realized it just wasn't worth losing sleep over, so I told them, if you're just going to FaceTime, I'm going to bed. Well, she flipped out. I know it may have come off as bitchy, but I needed to get my point across. What makes it worse is that my ML and brother-in-law live together. He's 30, she's 68. But when my in-laws come to visit us, she still insists on FaceTiming him and chatting about random stuff, even though we're sitting right there in front of her. We haven't seen her in months, and we're trying to have a conversation with her. This has happened so many times now, at least a dozen occasions, including holidays and family gatherings, and I'm beyond fed up, especially since my parents sometimes have to deal with it too. Is there a better way I can approach her about how rude this is? How do I make her understand without causing a bigger scene than I already did last night? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Comment 1. I personally would just continue other conversations and ignore her, that or do what you did and leave the table. What has your husband said to her about it? His mother his problem? Comment 2. Why are you all sitting in silence while she's talking? Comment 3. I think the rest of you should each video chat someone too. Every time you see her, whip out your phone and just FaceTime someone. Anyone. And when she gets pissy, say, what? Is this annoying? Is this rude? Is this crass? Or is this only okay when you do it? Comment 4. OP. I don't really think there is any other way to say it other than being blunt. ML, please do not make calls or FaceTime people at my dinner table as it excludes others from the conversation and is quite rude. If you need to speak to BIL, please make the call from another room. Alternatively, advise your DH until ML stops being rude with making calls at the dinner table, then they won't be coming to any further dinners. Kick the ball into his court. Your mother either shows respect or I will not host dinner for them. Comment 5. I'm petty. I'd FaceTime my husband that's sitting across from me. What? I thought this is how conversations at D8ner go. Emil does it every night. Story 3. I think Emil wants to move in. My husband cautiously mentioned that Emil, who is essentially homeless, might need to move in with us. She has a car, but her boyfriend keeps taking it to use for work instead of fixing his own car. This, obviously, is preventing her from going to job interviews. Why she doesn't just keep her keys away from him, I have no idea. I know she's actively looking for work, but I'm unsure when she'll land something or if she'll even stick with it long enough to make enough money for her own place. She also has a dog, which absolutely cannot stay with us, and our 3 cats. Apparently, this dog is the only thing keeping her sane, and it's why she turned down previous offers of accommodation from other people. She also took in 3 cats from a neighbor, none of which are spayed or neutered. We had a friend stay with us for less than a week recently, and that was stressful enough. On top of that, we have a hobby we do with friends that's non-negotiable. People are counting on us. We work on it in the room with our futon, which is already too short for her. The only other option is the couch in the living room, which obviously isn't ideal. My husband hasn't brought it up since yesterday, but I'm honestly stressing about how to communicate just how overwhelming this idea is for me without coming across as rude. I don't think we're the final solution for her, and I don't believe she's putting in the effort she should be to fix her situation. I'm literally trying to figure out how much time I can be out of the house to avoid the stress of it, especially knowing my husband will be out of town soon. I love working from home, but this would push me into the office just to get some space. I'm really concerned that if she moves in, she won't have the motivation to leave, and I don't want to deal with her drama, constant need for attention, and making everything about her. She's a grown woman, and I don't think it's our responsibility to fix this. The responses from my last post really helped me get some perspective, so I'm hoping you all might have some more wisdom or advice. Comment 1. Don't lose sleep on this another night. It's not rude to be honest. It's helpful to your marriage to have honest conversations. DH, you mentioned your mom's running out of housing options, and I've been worrying since then. I need to make it clear, in case you were in any doubt, I cannot have her move in here. Not even for a weekend. Because she has nowhere else to go, and if she stays here for a night, it'll be more. And, as much as I love you, I cannot live with her. It's chaotic. If you want to move out and find a place to live with her, can we talk about that? Because that's how clear I am that she cannot live here. It would be the end of our relationship as it is, which would break my heart, but if you have to choose her over me, I need to know that. Put it out there, because that's what he's actually asking of you, to wreck your home life. Comment 2. I don't know how to state the degree to which this idea stresses me out without being rude. Don't worry about being rude. Telling your husband that your ML absolutely will not move in with you is not rude. It's setting a boundary. Comment 3. You can live with me, or you can live with your mother. The option to live with us both does not exist. Comment 4. Time to shut it down now. Tell your husband absolutely not. This is your home and your cat's home, and none of you deserve to be made stressed and uncomfortable by a house guest with no departure date. Say no. Make sure he knows you mean it. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.